Okay, this is heat 3, and you can see I've got a different grid position now. I think I'm down in 9th, I think, because of the first 2 heats I didn't improve my position, so naturally I'm further down and behind Steve again, but at least this time on the inside. So here we go down to the first corner, just trying to stay really close. Oh geez, Steve's getting away from me, but that's just the straight line speed difference, I think. I've actually and Mo got pushed out there, so that was unfortunate for him. But yeah, I think for me, I think I actually kept the 1284 in for this heat, so that was a bit of a mistake really, because I just don't think it's got enough straight line speed. Anyway, I'm up here behind Andrew Draffin, and Andrew Draffin's very quick. He's got a new chassis, and I think it's made a big difference to his driving, because he has been one of the fastest in this race. I could see from his lap times on the My Laps app that he's one of the quickest. I think he got the fastest lap in one of the heats. And there we go. Look, you can't get much closer than that, even though I did go a bit sideways, but just not able to get close enough. And I braked a little bit early there, and there you go. Darren Formosa came down the inside. So yeah, again, not really taking enough risks on the brakes, I think. But also I think it's because in my head I'm consciously thinking about the fact that my engine is a little bit slower on the straight. So got to fix that. And actually what was really interesting that I thought was really funny is that before the race I was talking to Dylan, who's just a few places behind me in this race. I wish I had a rear camera, but my rear camera is out of action at the moment. Anyway, so I was talking to Dylan before the race, and I was talking about some of the things I want to do in the race. I said, look, my goal is to be right up behind Darren Formosa. And the reason for that is because all of last year I always spotted Darren up ahead. You know, he'd usually be in first, second or third, and I'm like, if I could just catch Darren, then that means I'm with the leaders. And what's interesting is that I ended up right behind him, as I am now. So it's interesting how we visualize things and how we put something into our head and then it ends up happening. But this time, unfortunately, Darren is not at the front, so I have to make do with following him around in the midfield. Oh, and that's right. Andrew Draffin tried to go up the inside of Steve Lewison, and Steve Lewison just turned in on him. I'm not sure who was in the right, but anyway, he kind of pulled into the inside curb, and I managed to get past. But I've lost a bit of ground to Darren, because I tried to take a really wide berth at that corner, because I didn't want to run into him. I think I'm going too wide at that corner, because I keep trying to turn it in, and then it slides a bit. And then I've been kind of hooking in at the last second, but I think I need to be a little bit smoother. Once again, coming in here, I try to get on the power absolutely as soon as possible. And through here, as long as you don't hit the curb, just try to turn it in nice and early and just let the power run. And again, without the slipstream, I think with this 84 cog, I am losing a little bit of speed down the straight. So my best option is to get close up behind people so I can get the slipstream. But at least at the front, they're all really tight. I think I'm not sure who's up at the front. It's probably Benjamin Casapor is up the front. And then there's this group. But I think everyone's fairly close together. So yeah, you can see ahead of me is Darren Formosa and Steve Lewison. Again, Steve has got incredible straight line speed, but I think Darren's a little bit faster. And yeah, I'm really struggling to catch up here, which is really frustrating. Trying to keep it smooth. I think once I start to get it smooth, I'll be able to close up a bit more. See, that's the problem there. If I'm sliding sideways into that corner, it's never a good sign. Gaining on Darren Formosa a little bit. And there, at least when I've got some space, I can really roll into this corner a bit better. And there we go. Starting to catch up to Darren. Darren's lost a little bit of momentum. And it's all just about keeping it nice and smooth. And you can see the camera is bobbing around heaps. This is because we've tried to remount the camera and it hasn't really worked. It's starting to come loose again already, so I really need to get some extra sticky pads to make that work. So here we go, getting really close to Darren. And not going too wide on that corner now, which is good. Just hoping to roll it in nice and close to Darren. Darren's very smooth, I think. He's a very good driver. Oh, and again, not smart. Letting myself get up on the curb like that is really not good at all. I have to be very careful not to hit the curbing on the inside when I'm going through the corners. And then just started to make a few little mistakes here and there. That's why Darren's getting away. Oh, there we go. So he's sliding it out. Just trying to overdrive a bit too much here, I think. But anyway, pretty uneventful race this time. But at least I haven't disgraced myself. I'm pretty close to the front pack. But just not quite quick enough today.